Hello students, welcome on my video. In previous lecture we discussed various types of scatter diagram method. Okay, so I hope you all are understood and also discussed first type of scatter diagram method, perfect positive correlation. So I hope you all are understood. Okay, so now today's lecture we are going on your new topic, and second type of scatter diagram method is perfect negative correlation. Okay, so what is the perfect negative correlation, students? So if all the points of a scatter diagram lie on one line, and if the line goes in the downward direction from the left to right, then it's show perfect negative correlation between two variables x and y. दैट मीन्स x और y वेरिएबल्स की जितनी भी वैल्यूज है स्टूडेंट्स, वो हम लोग पुट करते हैं ऑन ग्राफ पेपर, एंड देन वी गेट द ग्राफ सिमिलर टू दिस डाउनवर्ड डायरेक्शन एंड लेफ्ट टू राइट. सो इट शोज अवर परफेक्ट नेगेटिव कोरिलेशन. दैट मीन्स कोई भी स्टूडेंट्स ग्राफ होता है उसमें x और y वेरिएबल्स की वैल्यू पुट करने के बाद हमें जो डायरेक्शन मिलेगा वो होगा डाउनवर्ड डायरेक्शन एंड लेफ्ट टू राइट, सिमिलर टू दिस ग्राफ. दिस वन इज y एक्सिस एंड दिस वन इज x एक्सिस. ओके, और उसके ऊपर हमने जो x और y वेरिएबल्स की वैल्यू पुट डाउन करने के बाद जो हमें डायरेक्शन मिला है वो क्या है स्टूडेंट्स? डाउनवर्ड एंड लेफ्ट टू राइट. सो इट शोज अवर perfect negative correlation. Okay students, so please note down this definition in your notebook, and please note down this graph in your graph paper, and let me understood by example this type perfect negative correlation. Okay students, understood by example perfect negative correlation. Okay, so now we have two variables x and y, and also we have values of both variables. Okay, so now we prepare graph x y axis and this one is x axis. Okay, so now we take values on x axis and y axis. Minimum value of x variable is 8 and maximum is 18. Okay, and on minimum value of y variables is 2 and maximum value is 12. Okay, so here we take values on y axis and x axis. Okay, so first we will prepare y axis 2 and 12. That means here we take values between two values gap is 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14. Okay, and on y axis also we take two values between difference is also 2. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, and last one is 20. Okay, so now we plotted the points on x variable and y variable. Okay, so first is on x variable value is 15 and y variable's value is 5. that means x पे 15, that means 14 और 16 के between में 15, and on y axis 5, that means 4 और 6 के between में 5. so here these points is plotted here. Okay, then second is 18 and 2. so on x axis 18 and on y axis 2, that means here. Okay, third one is 8 and 12. so on x axis 8 and on y axis 12, that means here. Okay, then fourth one is 10 and 10, both value is same, 10, 10. Okay, then last one is 12 and 8. So on x-axis 12 and on y-axis 8, that means here. Okay, so now we join the line. So students, you can show that this line direction is downward and also left to right. That means this graph is show the perfect negative correlation between two variables x and y. Okay, so please note down this sum in your notebook and please draw this graph in your graph book. Okay students, third type of scatter diagram method is partial positive correlation. Okay, so what is the partial positive correlation, students? So if all the points of scatter diagram are not on one line but lie around a line which is going in upward direction from left to right, then it indicates that there is a partial positive correlation between two variable x and y. Okay, so what is the difference between perfect positive correlation and partial positive correlation, students? So in perfect positive correlation, if the all points scattered diagram are on one line, and here if all the points of scatter diagram are not on one line. Okay, so जो भी डायरेक्शन में स्टूडेंट्स अपवर्ड डायरेक्शन है एंड लेफ्ट टू राइट सिमिलर है, बट जो भी पॉइंट्स है जितने भी एक्स और वाई वेरिएबल के वो ऑन वन लाइन होने चाहिए, तो इट्स कॉल्ड अवर परफेक्ट पॉजिटिव कोरिलेशन. बट इफ ऑल पॉइंट्स ऑफ स्कैटर डायग्राम आर नॉट ऑन वन लाइन बट लाई अराउंड वन लाइन, सो वो कोई परफेक्ट वन लाइन में नहीं है बट जो एक लाइन है उसके अराउंड में है जितने भी पॉइंट्स है एक्स और वाई वेरिएबल के, सो इट शो अवर पार्शियल पॉजिटिव कोरिलेशन. ओके, सो example of partial positive correlation graph, students. So this one is y axis and this one is our x axis. Okay, so in this graph also we can say that these points are show left to right and upward direction but not in one line. Okay, so this called our partial positive correlation. So I hope you all are understood what is the partial positive correlation. Okay students, so please note down this definition in your notebook and please this graph in your graph book. Okay students, let me understood by illustration this type partial positive correlation. Okay, so now we have values of x variable and y variable. So now we prepare the graph. This one is our y axis and this one is our x axis. Okay, so on x axis we take values. Minimum value of x variable is 5 and maximum is 15. That means we take value 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14 and 16. Okay, and on y-axis we take variable, minimum value of y variable is 20 and maximum is 70. Okay, so here we take value 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80. Okay, so now we plot the points on this graph on the base of this value of x variable and y variable. Okay, so first one is 5 and 20. So on x axis we take value 5 means 4 or 6 के between में 5. Then on y axis we take 20, that means this point is plotted here. Okay students, then second one is 8 and 30. That means on x axis we take value 8 and on y axis we take value 30, that means this point plotted here. Okay, then third one is 10 and 50. So on x-axis we take value 10 and on y-axis we take value 50, that means this point is plotted here. Then 15 and 17. So on x-axis we take value 15, that means 40 and 16 between की जो value होगी 15 here, and on y-axis 70, that means this point is plotted here. Then 12 and 60. So on x-axis we take value 12 and on y-axis we take value 16. This means this point is plotted here. Then last one is 9 and 35. So 9 is between these values 8 and 10, so here, and 35, that means 30 and 40 के between की यहाँ पे जो value होगी वो 35 here. Okay, so now we can say that this graph is partial positive correlation. Why? Because अब हम लोग यहाँ पे जो लाइन ड्रॉ करेंगे उसका डायरेक्शन क्या है? फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल दिस लाइन डायरेक्शन इज अपवर्ड and left and to right hand side, but all the points are not in one line, that means it's called partial positive correlation. Okay students, so please note down this example in your notebook and this graph prepare on your graph book. Okay, so I hope you all are understood. So thank you.